Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. This is the last month for eviction protections unless a new stimulus bill comes soon. Basically, starting January 1st, 2021, landlords will once again be able to legally evict tenants for failure to pay rent. December 31st is the last day of protection from evictions and from a handful of other coronavirus relief measures that will expire on December 31st if there's no new stimulus bill or executive action to renew them. The National Low Income Housing Coalition estimates as many as 19 million people in 6.7 million households are at risk of being evicted when the calendar flips to 2021. In the meantime, even the protections that are currently in force are not necessarily enough to save everyone from being turned out. Some judges have refused to accept the current moratorium and allowed evictions to proceed anyway. In other situations, landlords have figured out loopholes by filing evictions for infractions other than not paying rent, like barking dogs or smoking, or by not renewing tenants' leases. It doesn't help that the current eviction ban requires renters who've fallen behind on their rent to submit a signed declaration form to their landlord stating they've lost income due to the coronavirus pandemic and have made an effort to look for financial assistance as well as a few others conditions. This part is critical. More below. Landlords can challenge the truthfulness and accuracy of those statements, and some lawyers have gone so far as to challenge tenants with perjury charges. Some states and cities continue to have their own eviction bans on the books. Let's see. Okay. All right. A few offer more protection in the federal eviction moratorium, but many have let their laws expire. We'll dig into the national eviction moratorium to unpack who is covered, what might not be covered, and what you need to do now if you're worried about getting evicted. Plus, we'll take a look at what other resources and options are available to help you stay in your home. This story was recently updated. It's up to date. What the national eviction ban does and doesn't protect. The current national eviction moratorium was ordered by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention using a 1944 public health law intended to curb the spread of a pandemic. Because homelessness can increase the spread of COVID-19, the order halts evictions across the U.S. for anyone who has lost income due to the pandemic and has fallen behind on rent. The federal mandate doesn't prohibit late fees, although some local ordinances do, nor does it let tenants off the hook for any back rent they owe. It also it doesn't establish any kind of financial assistance fund to help renters get caught up. A safeguard, some say, is critical to preventing a massive wave of evictions when the ban eventually lifts. Many cities and states, however, have set aside money to help with rent. And also, you can keep reading to find how to find assistance where you live. The order only halts evictions for not paying rent, lease violations for other infractions, criminal conduct, becoming a nuisance, etc. are still enforceable with eviction, and it only protects renters who earn less than $99,000 per year or $198,000 for joint filers. Finally, renters must print and sign an affidavit declaring their eligibility for protections. Qualifying for the eviction moratorium requires paperwork. The CDC's order requires renters facing eviction to meet 5 requirements, which they must declare under penalty of perjury by copying or printing, signing, and delivering an affidavit to their landlord. You could download a copy of the affidavit. You guys go to this article. You can download the copy of the affidavit. The 5 qualifications are in brief. You've used Let's see. Okay. Okay, I hit it so it can open up. So yeah, I'm just opening some things up. Now, the five, yeah, you can't, yeah, the five qualifications are in brief. You use best efforts to look for financial assistance. You don't expect to earn more than $99,000 in 2020 or no more than $198,000 if filing jointly. You can't pay your full rent amount because of lost income or extraordinary medical expenses. You tried to pay as much of your rent in as timely a manner as you can. If evicted, you will likely become homeless and have to live in a shelter or some other crowded place. It's not yet entirely clear what happens if your landlord chooses to challenge or deny your declaration. The New York Times spoke to both legal experts and government officials who helped draft the order, and they suggest it could be up to a housing court to decide whether you qualify or not. If the landlord, what just happened? Oh man, hold on guys, I done lost the page. Sorry about that. Yeah, basically, the New York Times spoke to both legal experts and government officials who helped draft the order, and they suggest it could be up to a housing court to decide whether you qualify or not. If your landlord challenges your request, they recommend providing reasonable specifics to prove your eligibility. That could include bank statements and other documents. On what to do if you're facing financial hardship today. If you're in need of immediate shelter or emergency housing, the Federal Department of Housing and Urban Development maintains a state-by-state list of housing organizations. Also, and that's in your area. Select your state from the drop-down menu for a list of resources near you. In response to the coronavirus pandemic, many states and cities have expanded their available financial assistance for those who are struggling to pay rent. To see what programs might be available near you, find your state on the list of rent relief programs maintained by the National Low Income Housing Association. Nonprofit 211.org connect those in need of help with essential community services in their area and has a specific portal for pandemic assistance. If you're having trouble with your food budget or paying your housing bills, you can use 211.org's online search tool or dial 211 on your phone to talk to someone who can try to help. JustShelter.org is a nonprofit that puts tenants facing eviction in touch with local organizations that can help them to remain in their homes or, in worst case scenarios, find emergency housing. The online legal services chat box at donotpay.com has a coronavirus financial relief tool that it says will identify which of the laws, ordinances, and measures covering rent and evictions apply to you based on your location. If you're seriously delinquent or know you will be soon, you may want to consult a lawyer to better understand how laws in your area apply to your situation. Legal aid provides attorneys free of charge to qualified clients who need help with civil matters such as evictions. You can locate the nearest legal aid office using this search tool. If you can no longer afford rent on your current home, relocation might be an option. Average rental prices have declined across the U.S. since February, according to an August report by Zillow. Apps like Zillow, Trulia, and Zumper can help you find something more affordable. Just be aware that you may still be held responsible for any back rent you currently owe, as well as any rent that accrues between now and the end of your lease if you have one, whether or not you vacate. Try asking your landlord for a rent reduction or extension. In almost all instances, it's probably best to work out an arrangement with your landlord or leasing agency, if at all possible. Although some landlords have reportedly reacted to the pandemic by putting even more pressure on tenants to pay up, other landlords have risen to the occasion, some going so far as to stop collecting rent payments for a period of time. It may be worth approaching your landlord to see if you could pay less rent in the coming months or spread payments for the next couple of months rent out over the next year. Just be wary of landlords who make excessive demands. For example, some have asked tenants to turn over their $1,200 stimulus check or any money received from charity as a condition for not filing an eviction order. Don't agree to unreasonable conditions or terms you won't be able to meet, especially if your city or state has enacted protections against such arrangements. So, hold on. So yeah, basically, I wanted to do this article because people have really been in a bind with paying their rent. And I know you guys are worried about it because some people aren't working right now. Some people aren't working. Some people are hustling, living check to check. Some people are out here trying to find a way to make money, and it's just not coming in. And to me, these landlords, they should understand the situation we're in. Yeah, I understand they have to pay the bills to keep the property open and keep the apartment running, but we're in a pandemic. People aren't able to work, and if they are able to get a check from stimulus, they should be able to keep that stimulus check and be able to use that for certain resources like food, water, laundry, like clothes, and the tools to get you to where you have to get to, making sure your car is filled up with gas so you can try to get a job. The jobs have really been limited. Everything has gone to the internet, the tech world. And to me, I believe that was the worst thing that possibly could happen. Jobs going overseas, outsourcing, and all of these things, because when something like this happens, it could really hurt not only the people, but it also hurts the economy, which it's always been doing. And us as a people, whether you white, black, Asian, Spanish, whatever nationality you are, this really affects all of us. It affects all of us, and it affects all of us, okay? It affects us by not being able to have a warm roof, or have a roof over our head, or have a warm place to stay, a warm place to eat some food. It also has the effect of not being able to get your kids into school, not only school, being able to get your kids to school, or basically being able to get them the right supplies to be ready and be prepared for school or whatever their endeavors are. And that's the problem that's going on. The country and all over the world, they're not looking at the facts. They're looking at, oh well, you better pay your bill or something, or we're going to put you out. It's like, how? People out here are struggling to eat. They're struggling to find jobs. I'm just blessed I have a job. Every day I thank God I have a job. And I continue thanking God for that, because I could have been in a situation where I didn't have a job. And me and mom and me taking care of my mother now, we would be in trouble, because we wouldn't have anybody to help us like my sister could, but my sister has her own family to deal with. So to me, I think that the stimulus, I'm not expecting us to get another stimulus. We'll probably get a check from filing taxes. But to me, I just pray for everybody. Look at the different organizations like that can help you. Like, go to I'm gonna say it here. Go to Zillow, Trulia, and Zumper. Those things will help you find, if you can't afford rent on your home or relocation might be an option. Report it to Zillow and Trulia and Zumper. Zillow, I'm gonna have it in the description box if you are without home or you need help. And also I'm gonna put up justshelter.org. You ought to check that out as well, and also 211.org, which helps you connect to people who are in the same predicament you're in because of the pandemic, that you don't have the assistance that you need. Justshelter.org will help you find a place to stay for the time being until you can find a house or find a place to stay, or an apartment or something, or a condo. The Department of Housing and Urban Development. I mean, the state by state list of housing organizations. There's a lot of places you can go. Also, you can go to the National Low Income Housing Association. You know, they'll help. And make sure you download an affidavit to let them know that you need financial assistance. Because if you're under 99,000 and as a joint couple, like if you're with your wife or you're with your spouse or your husband, you guys don't make over 198,000, you guys have assistance from the government to get some help. So look into these things, people. If you need help, like I said, my email is going to be in the description. You can send me anything. Let me know, and I'll send you where you need to go. But like I said, like, comment, subscribe, share this, hit the notification bell, and select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you would like to donate to the page, you can cash at me at the word welcome, the number 2, and then HDIITV. And thank you for listening. And we're probably gonna have a StreamYard tonight. Yeah, we're gonna have a StreamYard tonight. Just like we had yesterday. We're gonna have one today. And I'll give you the topic then. So thank you for listening. We out. Live boy.